My bad. There you go.
Good. So the only thing, the one thing that I had ran into an issue with was that when I tried to download it, I ended up putting it on my regular computer. Bad idea. That don't do that. But
why? Why you say that?
So when I put it on there, so reading is fundamental, right? So we're gonna start there.
Okay.
Whenever you're setting this up, you have to have a license to set it up. The other thing is,
wow, you have to have a license for Metasploit?
Well, when you're doing it from the computer, but if you're doing it from I was doing some reading up on it too. If you're doing it from the actual virtual machine, it doesn't require you to have a license, and it doesn't. Because when you put it on your computer, it requires you to have a license, number one, and then also you have to disable your virus protection and your firewall. In order to download that on there. And it also requires an extension to actually it's a whole nother part to it. But this is actually easier to have it done this way.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right, looks like we're in. And again, I'm letting you drive here. So I mean, what's next? What do we do?
All right, so let me go back to my
or do you want to drive? You want the
so let me go ahead. Say that again.
Go ahead. No, do you want to drive, or am I sitting here just,
hold on, let me
go
ahead. I couldn't, you breaking up a little bit. Say that one more time.
Yeah. Do you want to drive, or do you just want to guide me?
I can guide you.
Okay, cool.
Let me see here. All right, so first, let me see. I think you got to log into this one. Once it's installed, let me go back. I just had it up. Dang, hold on.
No, take your time, bro. No rush.
So did you already log into it?
Yeah, I'm here.
The MSF admin?
MSF, I don't know.
Okay,
yeah,
so hold on, so once you get into, because it says that you're supposed to log into it. It says when Metasploitable boots up, the system prompts you for the Metasploitable login. To log into Metasploitable, use the following credentials: MSF admin. It's MSF admin, and then the password is the same thing.
So I type in here MSF
admin. Yeah.
And then what else I do?
Press enter.
Unknown command.
Okay, hold on. So let me ask you this: is this one being ran on a in an isolated? Yeah, it is. Gotcha. Never mind. It is not. I'm still trying to find this one. Like I had the so I see how you get into it, but it's not showing the exact. Which one do you have? The MS which Metasploitable do you have? Is it
let's take a look. Hold on. Do show details. Let's take a look at it.
Because this one doesn't like it prompted you to log in at all.
No, I didn't see it. So hold on. Let me go ahead and do it the old-fashioned way. Hold on. All right, now let me start the Metasploit database. Give me 1 second. Okay, so that's not there. Get into that. All right, we'll let it load up. Cool, honk. Cool, we're in. And, you know, let's just have fun. Let's look at the help commands, man. You know, they always help me with Cisco and other stuff.
Gotcha.
Oh, so they do gotta help. Yeah, let's keep it simple. Okay, so we're in.
So what we can do, the first thing we can do is with this one is see if we can find the IP address doing if config.
Of this box?
Huh?
Of this box?
No, from the Metasploitable box.
Yeah, this is
Oh,
the
yeah.
Metasploitable
Sorry,
box.
yes, from this.
Okay. What am I doing?
If config. So
Okay.
what that's gonna do is, so it tells you what the IP address of that specific virtual machine is,
Gotcha.
which is.
Yeah, I don't think I didn't assign nothing yet.
Oh, gotcha. So is yours connected to? Go ahead.
You need me to assign a IP address to it?
Yes.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Let me go ahead and
So let me ask you: is this one connected to an internet source?
Nah, this is an Eve, so I didn't plug it to the cloud or anything.
Gotcha. So I didn't know that you could. This is definitely different. Because I didn't think about it, but the boxes that are in Eve are actually boxes just like you're doing like it's all a virtual environment, but I was looking at it from the perspective of Eve is generally like, you know, the logging, like the environment where you can do stuff like packet tracer, but packet tracer and GNS3 is not as in depth. So I didn't even think that you were in Eve and G. I was thinking more so like you know how you virtual box or something like that, but you're actually inside of the actual box within Eve.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes sense.
What's wrong?
There we go. All right, so we may have to just connect a cable. Let's do that real quick. Let's create a simple network. Come here, Cisco. Right.
Making sure you good over there, man.
No, this is interesting, man. I love, you know, seeing this, learning about it. So, and again, none of us are pros, man. So, you know, no pressure. Even though it's being recorded, it's recorded just for us and, you know, anybody that sees this, that, you know, that says, oh, okay, they're running into, you know, they're humans just like all of us. So, you know, nothing's gonna be perfect. All right, so let's,
Most
cause
definitely.
I'll be damned if I open up some type of editor system and edit anything that I'm working on. That's just, I don't have the time. I still got to be Super Mario Brothers. I'll leave that to everybody else. All right, there we go. Boop. Boop. Pop this bad boy open. Damn.
So on your Cali box, did you take the default for everything that you had whenever you set it up?
What, like default network settings or what?
Like, so say for, yeah, like whenever you set everything up.
Well, I just changed the wired network settings. And you know Eve, how Eve works, if you're not familiar, they give it a MAC address already. They give every node, every device that you probably load up, they give it a default MAC address. So
Okay.
they give it that or what have you, but the IP address needs to be assigned by either manually, just like any other a physical box, or if you have DHCP, pop it in your virtual lab, it'll pull it from DHCP.
Makes sense.
Wish I had some Cheetos. Anybody else wish they had Cheetos?
Hey, look,
Just me?
which ones, the puffs or the crunchy ones?
Bro, the puffs, the crunchy ones are like, bro, who has time for that? You have to be a sick individual to eat the crunchy ones.
Hey, I
Come on,
mean, it depends. Look, I like the ones
sick
with
individual.
the jalapeno cheddar ones. On
You
point
would
every
like
time.
the ones with the jalapeno cheddar ones. You would. You look like a jalapeno cheddar. I hope you know that.
Hey man, look, them things right there be on point every time.
They're nasty every time. Oh man. Dude, speaking of food, man, like, so, of course, we both work in IT. Bro, if you had a long day, right, frustrated with like end users and stuff like that, bro, what's your go-to food?
What'd you say?
What's your go-to food? Like, if you'd have had a frustrated day, working at the job, frustrated with users or anything, because IT's tough. It ain't easy.
So is it a snack or a meal is what you're referring to?
Oh, ooh, I'm glad you asked. Let me be both. What's your snack and what's your your entree? Yeah.
So
Yeah.
my favorite food meal wise. So my wife likes this thing called bang bang chicken or bang bang shrimp, I'll say.
Ooh.
So it's
Okay.
actually, we took it and actually made it the breaded chicken. Like, so you know how like restaurants, like Chinese restaurants make the chicken and it's breaded, but then you have like the sauce and stuff on it. So I actually take that and actually put jasmine rice, but you know how we usually cook the rice and then run water over it. Then you got individual pieces, but this one's more like sticky rice. So it's like you take that, and me being fancy and whatnot, I ended up taking like oil and put it in like a cup, and then actually put the cup over the rice to get like a perfect circle out of it, and put it in the middle of the plate, and then just put the chicken over top of it with the sauce drizzled over it, like some chives in it, like the best meal.
All right, not show off.
Yeah, just a little bit.
I like to put the show off. See, you will never be invited to the dad cookout. Okay.
Hey, look. Hey, we can get messy though. Now we talking about something like that. You could take, what is it, like some ribs, go crazy with the sauce on them on the grill. Hey, look, slow cook them a little bit. Like, and those I actually tend to try to, most times, even when I'm at work, I could actually take those and put them on the grill and leave them on there all day. Take them and check them every so often, kind of baste them or whatnot, and then, you know, wrap them in foil and let them finish cooking to where they kind of fall off the bone a little bit. And actually, like that glaze of the barbecue on there, bro, every time it's so good.
That's fine. I didn't just, I'm not hungry, Brian. Just go ahead and just make me hungry again. Perfect.
Hey, you know, hey, it ain't too late to go grab a, you know, quick snack out of, you know, your apple juice, your juice box and your cheese puffs, you know.
Goofy. All right, Brian. So I ran another if config after we configured it and set up the virtual router and switch. So we're good there. So, and I ran another if config. Here goes the IP address.
All right, so see if you could take that same IP address and put it into a web browser and see if it gives you a web GUI.
Yeah, gotcha. Go ahead and do that. The IP address of this PC?
The iNet, the 10.10.10.20.
Okay, all right. So yeah, so the Cali box. Gotcha. All right, go ahead. All right. What do I give this? 20? Uh, 20. Yeah, there we go. Any port number, special port number, or just IP?
So go back to your terminal.
Sure.
It should be, let me see, looking at yours. Yes. I'm trying to find your Ethernet.
No problem, Coach.
So,
hey, listen, I'm following your lead.
So try it without the port on there, because this one is not asking for it.
Got you. HTTPS or anything, or?
Yes, ://.
Nothing.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah, no biggie. Again, man, no pressure. Like I said, we're trying to set this up, so we're just recording this for us, and who knows, somebody might see this and say, hey, here's what you guys are doing wrong, or this might help somebody up setting up in the future.
Gotcha.
Then could you try with the HTTP?
What'd you say, Max?
Hey, Max, if you were talking, buddy, I think we lost you.
Hey, is that a Metasploitable tab off to the right? Oh, click that open right there.
This one?
The Metasploit, no, off to the left. That's actual button over here, yeah.
Yeah, that's the same thing as the terminal.
So no, that one is actually a framework. So that one is going to bring up actual tabs and stuff like that. So basically where you can create a new project and then kind of look at the analysis tab, and then you can actually click scan and get like a, wait a minute. So this one is actually showing, this one's not opening up a framework.
Yeah, just open another terminal. I think I know what you mean. Let's dig for a little bit. Hold on. I think I know what you mean. Give me a second.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and Max, if you were trying to say something, either try it again or just drop it in the Zoom chat. Yeah, Brian, let's look in here. See if we see it again in here. Hold on. Okay, let's see it in there. See it in there.
So I guess I think what I was looking at it from the perspective of actually downloading it to a virtual machine instead of doing it through the Cali box. which is why I got confused or mixed up. Because these,
Okay.
I think looking at the steps is a little bit different.
Mhm.
Of the
Hey, man.
ones that I was kind of. Go ahead.
We'll figure it out. We will
Gotcha.
figure it out. We always do. All right, let's close this. Okay. All right, we got the IP address. We got all that. Let me try something. Okay, HTTPS didn't work. Let's try HTTP. No dice. Okay, let's ping our gateway. 10.10.1. There we go. Okay. Fly. Cool. Let's ping ourselves. Are we good? 10.10.10.20. Boom, boom. Be back straight. Cool. All right, so we're good. All right, so let's dig through it. Let me go ahead and pull up some type of tutorial off Google. All right, cool. So, all right. So, cool. So we did find out, we did discover it does have a help command. Let's go ahead and use that. I like using that whenever I can't figure out anything. All right.
Perfect.
Cool. Shows us some work commands. Okay.
The host. What about the
All right.
let me see. What is unload a framework plugin? No.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay. All right, let me look at this site real quick. Give me a second. Okay. All right. All right. So that just shared with me I could search modules within the Metasploit database, and this is a lot. Jeez. Okay. Got some exploits in there. Okay. Man, this is exciting.
Hey, bro.
Okay, I see some.
Like, bro, you should have seen me over here. Like, just I have the first thing I like to do is kind of get a visual of what my network would look like. So, bro, I created like a whole, like a, you know how I don't know if it's called architecture. Like I created like in a whole environment, like with lines connecting to different parts and making sure that when I get ready to set everything up from where I start up until the next point. So setting up, what was it? Because I building out my own. Let me see once I find this. Oh, so basically downloading Kali Linux, and then also setting up a like the diagram has Kali Linux, and then it goes into a pfSense firewall, and then going into the actual Vuln hub, which is basically where you can download a server, and then it basically pings a bunch of traffic. So once you download the vulnerability hub, it kind of issues traffic and shows you the different vulnerabilities that that specific system has. So it's just a bunch of fun stuff I was over here playing with just while I was looking up other stuff too for this.
Okay. All right. Cool stuff. All right. So what I did, again, following this tutorial, it's walking me through how to basically look up look up different modules. Because of course, within Metasploit, there's modules broken down into 7 types: exploits, payloads, auxiliaries, encoders, evasions, Nmap, and post.
Okay.
So now I looked up modules. Of course, that was a long list, and the walkthrough showed me exploits, and we're going to again show me just this basic exploit right here, exploit multi-handler, and putting this command use exploit multi-handler. They stated that we staged the exploit, meaning that we went ahead and prepped it, and now it's ready to be used. So again, of course, the CLI changed, and we see this is the staged exploit at the moment. Type the command info so I can see, information about it, how it's what's really prescriptive. Again, this is still new to me, still find out, so it's pretty cool. This module
This thing is
is
very
that's
descriptive.
fine. Yeah, I know. I'm listening. Too many big words, but I love it. All right. All right. So, okay. So now that we staged it, it's telling us we can use some show commands so we can see available payloads, targets, or options corresponding to stage exploit. So they have the command show payload. So let's take a look at that. I feel like there's about to be a long list. About to be a long list.
Yep.
And it is. Okay, that's a lot. A lot. Yeah, that's a lot. Let's take a look at these descriptions, though. Apple iOS, BSD, FreeBSD. Okay, that sounds familiar. Unix. Okay. Windows, Command Shell.
User.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Verse.
Oh.
Verse HTTP. Oh, just got a lot of stuff in it.
Yeah. All right, Sugarfoot. All right. I like it, Lenny. I see y'all. See y'all going crazy. All right. So we had something with that. We looked at the payloads. All right. So next, it tells us there's another show command, show targets. The command show targets lists all the targets vulnerable to be staged in the exploit. A target's vulnerability can vary depending on the operating system, updates, language, among other things. Let's take a look at that. So targets. There. As we can see, we have a target vulnerable to the exploit we use. Not sure what the fuck that means, but we're gonna have fun. All right.
Great language, Steve.
Hey, Tuesday. So next, we have last but not least, last show command, show options. And the website is telling me this command is, and I'll post the website, in the group chat and in the description of the video, just so it can help folks out. This command is often useful as it shows the options yet to be set before running the exploit. Now, I think I've seen this before, but again, I really want to know what it means. Options to be set may include a couple of things. So let's look at them together. All right, let's go ahead and run that. Show the options. Okay, it didn't show us no options. All right, it didn't show us nothing to set. So, okay. Yeah, so typically something's supposed to be right here. Nothing's here. Right. Huh. The listen address and interface may be specified. Hold on, folks. I'm reading this for a second. That's pretty cool.
Target.
Are we still on the layer 2 thing?
I'm sorry. Was that Max? Was that you?
Yeah. Is it working fine now? I don't know. It's not really good.
Oh
today.
yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, I can hear you
All
now.
right.
What's up, buddy?
Yeah. Great. So earlier I was trying to ask whether the HTTP service was running.
Within Metasploit?
No, you went to the web browser and you're trying to you enter the IP address of the Kali Linux box, but then it was timing out.
Mhm.
So I was guessing whether the service wasn't running, or even if it is there, because if the Apache service or the Nginx or anyone that would serve the web service is not available, then you wouldn't have the web service running, or it didn't work as in this case. So if we could confirm whether the web service is running in the background.
Okay, and Matt, Max, you know, and correct me if I'm wrong. You said to make sure and to check if the web service is running in Metasploit, or
No, please,
on my box in general.
Yeah, on the box in general.
Let me check. It should. I mean, I don't have internet connectivity. Again, this is in Eve. I haven't connected it to the to my home network yet.
Yeah, but I see that
But I don't.
there's the address for the Linux box we are on now.
You said, does it have service?
I mean, the IP address in the address bar is the address for the Kali box.
Yep.
So I'm asking whether the web service is running on the Kali box. So if we could check, because with the way it times out or it says it cannot find it, I'm guessing maybe that will be the case.
Okay, so I think I got what you mean. You want me to check the services that's running on the, see if HTTPS is running on, or HTTP is running on this box.
Exactly.
Okay, let's double check. Give me 1 second. Let me pull up a terminal. Where we at? Window. And let's see if I remember this. There we go. Okay. I knew I was close. Roll this bad boy up.
Yeah, I can see it's not started. The Apache 2 service. It's
Yeah, I don't see it. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Make sure I'm looking in the right place too.
at the very top, the Apache 2, and then also the Nginx is also not standard. So both of them are not running. So
Matt, say it again. I'm sorry.
the Nginx and then the Apache 2. It is around where you went, but then if you move to the top right after you enter the command, Apache 2 is somewhere on the second line.
Got you. Apache 2. Okay.
Yeah.
And you said that's supposed to be running?
Yes, please.
Gotcha. Okay. So let me go ahead and I guess I'll start it. Let me and Apache 2. There we go. Okay. I guess. Okay. Okay. So it looks like Apache 2.
What's up, Claude? I
Plus
thought you
means
snuck
that
in
it's
here.
running.
Yeah. So
Okay. Look.
we try again with the web browser to see whether.
Cool. All right. Matt, with regular HTTP or HTTPS?
HTTP.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
20. Noise. What is this?
Are you using Debian?
No.
Yeah, so that's the default page for Apache.
Okay. So Max, what's next?
Yeah, I mean, so now the web service is running, and then we are gotten the default web page. So from here, we can change the default web page to whatever we want it to be. So earlier, it wasn't working because the service wasn't running.
Mm-hmm.
So now that the service is running, we could go to the directory where the static files are set, and then we continue to whatever we want it to be. So if we want to change it, then we go ahead and then go to the /var www/html. Then we could modify the index.html file there, or we can put an HTML file that we have created already. So one time that I used Metasploit, I just created a very simple interface where I'd put the payload, and then people would kind of download it. So when that happens, they would have to go to that website, like that small web interface. So what I had to do was customize the index.html file to look like how I wanted it to be. So if that's what you want to do, then you can go to that directory or that file and then make the change, and it will appear here.
Okay. So Max, let me ask you. And just in case we didn't say it, and if it wasn't communicated before, the goal for Brian, please keep me honest, I believe was to open the web console, the GUI for Metasploit.
Yes.
And so
that was the main goal.
So now that we have an IP address assigned to this box, and we confirm with the Metasploit that we have the IP there, if we put in this IP address, Brian stated that if we put it inside of the web browser, it should pull up the GUI for Metasploit. So Max, from what you're saying, if we need to edit a HTML file?
Actually, I'm coming from the point where we have to get the web service running, because actually it wasn't running yet. Mostly when I use, the only time I've used Metasploit was mostly on the command line. So frankly, I'm not aware of the web interface actually. I'm just looking that up right now. So I'm not sure.
Oh, no worries.
Yeah. So, but I think from from here, the environment is set so that if you get the right address, you could just go through from there. I'm trying to get that as well.
Okay, let me try something. Second. That's rolling. Cool. That's one. Perfect. Okay. All right. So let's pop that. Perfect.
So I found how it tells you to access it.
All right, Brian, go ahead. What you need to do?
I'm pulling it through it now. I think so. This one is saying Metasploit Pro, but I don't think this is the same thing that, well, the only way you could actually get the GUI to come up is what this look like it's saying. Let's see. Because with this, what I'm looking at, it actually gives you like a whole pretty much where you can see like the analysis of sessions, the campaigns, the apps, stuff like that, modules, which is somewhat what we were looking at through here. I'm trying to see how it's going to let me get to that point. Let me see.
Yeah, guys, whoever's on, feel free to Google and all that stuff. We're all working together just to get this, you know, set up, taken care of for the folks in the future, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay, so yeah, it won't let you do it with this one. I think that one to see the actual, the GUI interface, the web interface, and it's going to require a license. Just by looking at it from here, it says, before you begin, obtain a license key to activate Metasploit. You will need to have a license key. If you do not have one, please submit a request. But with submitting that request, when I went to that specific page, it actually advised me that if you're in the web instance, I mean, not web instance, but the virtual environment, you won't need one. So let's see, let me go down to,
all good stuff. Thanks for the, love the teamwork, fellas. It's about Metasploit, right? That'll be excellent. Okay. Exploit.
so they did all these things.
Exploit. Okay, perfect. So that's not there.
So one of the first things that it says to do is the MSF update command. Well, that was one of the first things it shows to do whenever it comes up. And then
right, but that's if we have internet connectivity.
Yes.
Why are we updating though? What's the goal of updating?
No, so that's just like whenever it was given the options to set everything up, it was saying is an important administration command. It's used to basically update Metasploit to the latest vulnerability exploit, meaning that if you do, instead of using the ones that are already built into here, the more up-to-date ones that or vulnerability or exploits that are within Metasploitable itself, it gives that ability to
Mhm.
constantly have it update to it. So that was the reason for that particular command.
Gotcha. Okay. Perfect. I'm listening. I'm just doing some stuff here, testing some stuff.
So
Oh, so it shows here that the app Armitage, which is also within that list of ones that you have. It actually is one of the GUI that actually complements Metasploit.
You said, what is it? I'm sorry.
Armitage, it's in those that, remember when we were looking through those? It's like a lady
Armitage,
with a,
right?
yeah, there you go. It says that GUI for Metasploit is to complement that tool. It visualizes targets, recommends exploits, and exposes the advanced post-exploitation features incorporated in Kali.
Gotcha. All right, let's let it
It
start.
says at first, open Metasploit console and go to Applications, Exploits, Tools, and Armitage. We already did that. Enter the required details of the next screen to connect. So the host name would be, I guess, the 10.10.10.20. I'm not for sure which port it was showing on. And then, of course, the username and password is MSF, the defaults. Oh, you're already in there. So in this environment here, so it has a targets, a console, and a modules off to the left. Also do a little drop down to where it says auxiliary exploit and all those on the left at the top.
Give me 1 second. Auxiliary, okay. So I'm here.
Admin. Oh, the drop down, yeah.
Okay.
HTTP.
Okay.
It says Tomcat. Tomcat administration.
Okay. What am I doing?
Let me see if it'll let me open this one up.
Making progress. This looks better.
Yeah, yeah, it definitely does. So I'm thinking with this right here. So you see how you see this one particular PC in this environment? Are there, trying to figure if there's any other thing that we need to do to add more, because what I did was I looked at one of the screenshots that it had, and it actually had on there, hold on. It had stuff like the PC, it had a Linux box, a Windows server box, a printer, and then it also has like so it has a targets, I mean, a box that actually targets the other ones. So, and matter of fact, let me actually share this same page that I'm looking at to everybody.
Thank you. Yeah, drop it in the cybersecurity room, please.
All right,
That's
it's
the
in there.
Tomcat administration interface. The administration interface is.
Oh, yep, there it is. I just dropped it in there.
For 8180 is default for FreeBSD, 8080 for all others.
So the area target lists all of the machines that you have discovered and those you are working with. Okay, so in order for us to work more in this particular area, we have to add more machines that are to be like, so that are ones that could be attacking the specific ones that we're looking at.
So I don't want to attack or anything yet. I want to
yeah, so this will be just setting up. This part would be setting up instead of it being attacking. It will be more machines that we need to have set up. Let me go back. So in that Armitage area, where you're looking at, so you see how that PC is here, the 1010-1020,
which is
on
our,
like the
our box
third,
right here.
yeah, on like the third page of that, the one that I sent to you, it shows there where you have the different boxes that are within that same environment. And then with those, actually do this real quick. Right click on our piece, go to serve, host.
Yeah.
Go to OS. So I think that lets you assign it. One of the other options they had was like to do a scan. And then in the console at the very, you see where the options say console, scan, admin, those at the bottom. It'll start to read out some content at the bottom of that specific thing once you start to scan it.
Yeah.
Those are some other information that it's going to give you there that I've seen here. The other options, like I said, will be to pretty much just set up some PC events and stuff on here, or not PC, but some devices themselves, and start to actually have them coincide with the one. That way you can start, kind of building upon what you're like, I guess the aspect of saying, we're going to attack with this one. And these are the targets or what have you, and then kind of go from there. So the next step in this process will be setting up devices in order for them to kind of go together, if that makes sense. Did that make sense?
So
or
we need test. I mean, it didn't. It didn't make sense. So do we? I guess what I'm trying to understand, like, so we need boxes to test to see if it works, because that makes sense.
Yeah, because right now we only have this one box in this system. With this one box in the system, you can't really do anything with just the one. So we would more than likely have to build out like some semblance of an environment, and come up with a game plan of exactly what you want to have in this environment and how everything talks to each other to kind of say, okay, well, this particular target is going to attack these particular machines. And then that will be where you get the data and stuff from that's going to generate in the console area.
Okay. So remember, we're not doing any attacks yet.
Yeah, right. So it's the setup piece.
Okay, but that doesn't make sense. Why do we need to set up other boxes to make sure that this is working?
Oh, to make sure that this is working.
Yeah, I just want to make sure this is working. Metasploit is working, and if the Armitage is what we need to use to interface with, quote unquote, the GUI to interface with the Metasploit console, then boom, we're at the. First step.
Everything is good from here.
Okay, so can you, and good stuff, by the way. So can you break down? So what is it? So Armitage is our GUI.
So Armitage is the GUI that pretty much complements Metasploitable. So this is where you would get your visual from, where you would kind of see what attacks are happening, and this is where you could implement them. This is where you could do everything visually, where you can physically see you're clicking on in the GUI. If you click on another machine, it gives you the option to scan it. It gives you the option to Meterpreter, which is basically where you will be able to browse the files, access and do different things like that. You can implement attacks by right-clicking on different machines and then doing it that way. So that's pretty much what this particular GUI does.
Okay, cool. Nice. Yeah, I just did a simple Nmap scan. It looks like it picked up the Cisco router. Pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. Okay, so this is our first step. We got it going. Okay, come over here, weirdo. Weirdo, go over here. Weirdo, stay over there. All right, I just want to be a weirdo. Okay. All right, cool. So we got this set up. So perfect. So I guess, so Brian, you know, and I'm gonna assign you, voluntold you as the lead on this one. Since
Okay.
this is your field. So I guess the next thing is, you know, I want to go ahead and, do some, see some vulnerabilities and stuff like that in Cisco devices and Windows PCs. So what homework do you need to give us to go ahead and, do we need to see how this works, how to implement it and stuff like that before we come to our next session?
Yes. So what's the name that I sent you all? That link, it has pretty much everything Metasploit. The console, it shows you pretty much everything about what we did from here. The Armit GUI, everything like that. It breaks it down too. So that will be a good starting point for us to kind of figure out. Once we have our devices set up, the next step would be to kind of see, okay, so now that our devices are set up, we need to make sure everything works well with those devices. And from that point going forward, kind of making sure that we could then start implementing attacks.
Okay. No, that's fair because I don't want to just, I don't want to just, hey, we got Metasploit up. Now let's add thousands of devices. I need you. Everybody knows how I am. I need to know the why. I need to know what we're doing, why we're doing it, because again, for everybody that's trying to be a professional, an engineer, what have you, everybody needs to know the why because they're gonna have to design this and recreate, recreate this. So they can't recreate it if there's no purpose.
Exactly.
So cool. I'll go ahead and do that. Hopefully everybody else has it. And again, this is impromptu for now, nothing set because we're still setting it up. So again, if everybody's bored, we can just jump in and play with it. But this is good progress. This is good.
Definitely.
So first we need to make sure one has an IP address. Since we're in a virtual environment, it's connected, to a switch or a network device. Once we have Metasploit running, we go ahead and run Armitage, and we interface with Metasploit from there.
Gotcha. That definitely makes sense.
That's it?
Looks like it for right now, man. And now that I started doing this, what I'm actually going to end up doing is, now that we kind of started this point, I'm actually going to go ahead and continue to do the same thing as from where we are now, and actually set up something similar to what you have here, and then make sure I document and write everything down. Not only that, but also kind of make sure that following along exactly with different things and seeing what else I can implement based off other resources that I kind of come across. So.
Okay. All right. That's pretty cool. You're so cool.
You said what?
Special. You're so cool. I want to be in cyber.
Good job, Brian.
Appreciate it, Jose. What is it?
You're cool.
We know you like to write your L's backwards. I mean, it's.
Hey, see, why do you have to tell the world that? Okay.
you made it known why, so I mean, it's up to you.
I got a dislocated thumb. Okay, you didn't have to tell him my disability. That's not very nice.
Hey, Claude, you see your man over here acting up?
See, you getting ready to mess with his check right now. You don't mess with folks' disability checks.
All right. They're gonna find out my thumb back is not working. All right. Don't mess me up. I just started learning Python. Nah, this is good stuff. Bro.
You go right there that wrong sequence, strings and stuff backwards. Getting there messing up stuff. They gonna figure out why something ain't working right. Well, it was all in.
Brian, definitely appreciate you, Max. I appreciate you too. This was a good step, guys, and even with everything, right? Virtual labs or in our studies or what have you. Dude, just one step is, one step is a great first step. You know, we don't have to hit the finish line, you know, immediately. You know what I mean? So again, good stuff. I'm glad where we're headed. So yeah, hopefully, you know, Brian, and all of us that's on this call, hopefully we can meet up again and go forward.
Gotcha.
All right,
Yep.
fellas. You guys have a great night, okay?
All right, you too,
All right,
man.
now.
everyone. Have a good night.
Y'all have a good one.
Later.
All right.